What's going on, y'all? Techmeout here, and I'm excited because in front of me I have the new iPad Pro recently released from Apple, as well as their smart keyboard folio. So in this video we're going to be taking a look at what do you get in the box, as well as my first impressions of this, and maybe cross compare it to my previous gen iPad. Let's roll that intro and get right into it. In here we get the iPad. You know, I did something different, y'all. I usually go with the space gray. This time I switched it up and I said I'm gonna get the silver. And let's see, what else do we have in here? Of course, we have some information, Apple stickers. We have a USB-C wall adapter. And lastly, we have the USB-C to USB-C charging cable. The build of this is pretty much the same as the previous gen iPad. Same speaker placement, same USB-C charging port. Volume buttons and power buttons are in the same location as well. One of the differences is the camera on the back. So we now have a similar setup to what we've seen on the iPhones. So you have a wide angle lens down here and an ultra wide lens along the top. And then next to that you have your LiDAR scanner. So that's gonna give you like better AR performance, which we'll talk more about, but let's get this setup going. Now in terms of size, this is the 11-inch model. I'm not a big fan of the 12.9. My theory is if I'm gonna use that large of an iPad, I just feel like I might as well carry around my computer or my MacBook Air. I don't know, it's cool when I see it, but like day to day, I just don't think it'll work for me. If I'm going on an iPad, I want something that's bigger than my phone but smaller than my computer. I'm probably the only one that struggles with Face ID. Do you struggle with Face ID? No one asked you. But I'm interested to hear the preference of you all out there in terms of if you prefer the 11-inch model over the 12.9-inch model. Let me know down below in the comment section which one do you prefer and why. Gotta know why. I will say this is more like a refresh to the previous gen iPad. There aren't like a ton of new features, but there are some, and some that are worth mentioning. And that may, depending on what matters to you, it may be worth the upgrade. But if you're interested on having me do a video about that in terms of if it's worth the upgrade or not, just let me know. I'll do my best to get on that. Oh, and I forgot to mention, not only are the back cameras improved, but also the front-facing camera. As the front-facing camera is 1080p, which is something that even the MacBook Air doesn't offer. Not even the MacBook Pro 16-inch, as pricey and pro as that computer is, it doesn't offer 1080p either. But here we are with the iPad that does. You have portrait mode on the front-facing camera as well, but you do not have portrait mode on the rear-facing camera. I'm gonna take some photos off camera and throw up some sample shots so you can see what you're looking at in terms of the camera quality up here. But being outside of the ultra-wide camera, this has the same 10 megapixel wide camera on this model as the previous gen. So, you know, in essence, it should be comparable, if not equal quality. I don't take a lot of photos with my iPad, but I honestly feel if I was in school or something like that, I probably would. I know at the beginning of the video, I mentioned the LiDAR scanner and how it improves, you know, AR. Ultimately, it's gonna be able to like scan the surface a lot quicker than it normally would. Now, something else that's better up here are the microphones. So let's just do a really quick test. See how we sound. Testing 1 2 3. This is an audio test. Testing 1 2 3. This is an audio test. Testing 1 2 3. This is an audio test. Testing 1 2 3. This is an audio test. The mic is better. Okay, I have Cam off camera here. Cam, in your opinion, did you notice a difference?
Yes.
You could?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Was it significant though?
It was.
Okay.
The past generation iPad sounded a little staticky.
Yeah. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. It's richer, I will say that, and it's cleaner. It's cleaner audio. Cool. The speakers sound the same, which is great. So you know, still have the same exceptional quality on those. Some other things to note about the newer model is that it does come with 6 gigs of RAM, and thank God we can now finally get a base model with 128 with 128 gigabytes of storage. So on the older models, they all started at 64 gigs. Now we can get 128, which is perfect for me. But in addition to those tech specs, here are some others that I'm gonna throw up on the side. But yeah, I'm excited to dive in and test things out more. But of course, y'all, you know we gotta talk about that price tag. This starts at $7.99. I wanna say the previous gen is no longer offered, at least not on Apple's website. And like I said, this is to me more of a refresh with a bump up in terms of some of the features, but not exactly anything drastically new. Now, I can't remember if I talked about the display, but in the event that I didn't, the display is also the same as the previous gen. The new iPad Pro also has an A12Z Bionic chip. So it's, you know, a bump up in terms of speed and performance in the previous gen as well. The question is, how noticeable of a difference is it? I would definitely assume that you'll notice it more when you're gaming or doing more intensive tasks like if you're video editing or things like that. But all in all, right now, I see this as a really great solution for those that want something more powerful than a phone, but don't quite need all the robustness of a computer. You just need something in the middle. The tablet's for you. If I were in school, I definitely would get this. I would definitely get this iPad with this case on it. I just love it. It just looks like a notebook. You would never guess that it was an iPad. If you enjoyed this video, y'all, please be so kind as to hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share it for any of your friends and family that might have questions about the iPad. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you want to find out what I am up to during these times. Shout out! I know in my previous video, Half Man, Half Tech left a comment asking for a shout out for being one of the first to comment. So shout out to you, Half Man, Half Tech. Much appreciated for the support. If any of you want a shout out as well, feel free to drop it down in the comments section. As always, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out.